sure.
Okay, in the early 80s then, when skateboarding was kind of dead, we had the camps in Sweden and so on. What did the camps and maybe also the Swedish skaters mean at that time for global skateboarding, you think?
I think it meant that the passion was still very alive and that you guys were keeping it going. I mean, against all odds, like that. It couldn't have been easy to run a skate camp when skating was clearly not popular. It kept the fire burning. I mean, there are iconic tricks that came from those camps that you guys put on. I don't know where they would have been created otherwise, but I think that you guys helped to expedite the progression of skating through that.
That huge ramp for that time, that was kind of an important
honestly,
thing, I guess.
For me, in the years later, I built the biggest ramp because of that in my backyard in Fallbrook, and then 10 years later, I built the biggest half pipe, touring half pipe, that at the time was the biggest half pipe anyone ever made, and now that's the standard. But it all stemmed from being here and realizing that bigger transitions are way better.
The fun story about that was when the ramp first was constructed for an indoor skate park in Gothenburg. It was too huge for anyone to skate. It just sucked then, but the time.
The ceiling must have been too low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, it was super intimidating at first, but once I got there and realized the potential, I was all in. It was super fun.
And your memories from that camp with the atmosphere and friends you made and so on?
It was fun. It was just hijinks, It was like living in Jackass camp before Jackass. It was fun. Lance made it fun too, and everyone else. All of our ridiculous games and whatever. We did that skating war in the gymnasium.
Yes, when it was raining.
Tires.
Yeah. And getting in trouble, it was fun.
Yeah.
That was what was unique as well, is that normally when you see old skate films and so it's like back and forth, and it's quite boring. But this camp, we actually thought before, okay, we will not try to do it this time. We will film all the other fun stuff that is going on. And that's what I think is special with this, or unique in that sense. We got all these other things around that was happening.
It was great. I was thankful to have that time, and thankful to be there with you guys, with that crew, and with Lance, and I just think it's cool that you guys keep the history alive with all the footage and with the reunion that you did.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
and the coming Radius movie. It's about big transitions.
I've been hearing about that for a while, so when does that happen?
January, February. It's gonna be. It's
not saying the year, but January,
I know,
February.
that's what I was gonna say. January, February.
Sorry.
Yeah. Got some more?
One funny thing. When you started Birdhouse with Willners, how come that actually you met up? And I guess it must have been a little bit sensitive, like you were on the Powell team, both of you, I guess, and starting.
The way that happened was that Lance and Tommy were talking about doing their own thing. Lance was doing the firm, Tommy was doing real, and they started talking to Powell originally about doing it. And at some point, we all got together and said, I don't think it's going to work doing with Powell to feel like the same thing. We have to do our own thing. And Per heard about it. And Per called me and he said, I heard you guys are doing this. I want to do it, but I would like to do it from the angle of doing distribution. And so he and I went in halves for Birdhouse and Blitz distribution. So we created the umbrella of distribution, and we did it real at the firm. So originally, Real, Firm, and Birdhouse were all under the same roof. And that was it. And we all met with Stacy and told him, and he was a little upset, but not really, because he was leaving anyway. And we didn't know that. So I think he just felt like everyone was bailing on George, including him, and he's like, "You guys, well, you did the same thing, so
Yeah, he couldn't say anything.
we're just doing what you did."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. And Per had a really good business sense. You know, he kept us afloat. I mean, our first 3 years were very difficult, and he just kept changing how we spend money and you know how we can survive, and we made it work. I was thankful he was there because I didn't have the education or the patience to do what he did.
So that's how you was a good couple in that sense.
It was great, yeah. And then I bought him out of Birdhouse in 2008, 2009. And so I gave him Blitz distribution and I kept Birdhouse. It's cool.
So, when
Thank
you,
you very much.
when you started skateboarding in the 70s, so much stuff has happened for you that you could never guess. What's the most overwhelming or amazing stuff that's been achieved?
The most what?
Or maybe not to say amazing, or maybe most surprising thing you've been doing through skateboarding that you couldn't see when you were like 15 years old.
Well, besides being on The Simpsons, getting to do this. I mean, who would ever imagine that I never thought I'd get paid to skate. No way did I think I'd get paid to talk about skating or do a tour.
Yeah.
Like, this is wild to me. And I'm thankful that people want to hear the story. I mean, our stories are unique. Like, we were the scum of the earth, just doing something we loved. And because we kept doing it, here we are. So, I like that people think that's a story worth hearing. But yeah, I just do it every day. I'm blown away. I mean, I was just thinking about, like, we're staying at a nice hotel here. And we have a nice room, and I'm thinking back to like us driving the Peugeot into town just to get food, which was just like a hot dog stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and to us that was living the dream. Like, we're going into the big city to get food, and now we're staying in a penthouse suite. Like, it's wild. All of it's wild.
What hotel do you stay in?
Lidmar.
Hey, Martin.
Lidmar?
Yeah.
Lidmar,
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good one.
Did you ever feel that skateboard would die out those years? Or that it could? Or
Felt like it died through the 90s. Sure, yeah, but
I think the 90s was harder than like the early 80s.
yeah, because I didn't have a family or a mortgage.
Yeah,
so-
because then you had the
yeah,
business and
for
stuff.
sure.
Of course.
Yeah. I guess the answer to that is no, because I started a skate company during that time, so I believed it was going to happen. But I didn't think it would take so long, and that it would take so much squeaking by financially. I mean, there were times where Per called me. He's like, "I think we might have to shut it down." I was like, "No." So, I think that THPS helped a lot with keeping Birdhouse alive.
Yeah.
With really raising it to a new level.
That is also one of the major thing, I guess, having your own video game.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the rise before that. Like, X Games helped and everything, but I remember, I actually remember having this discussion with Per when it first came up, because I said, we're gonna use all the graphics and skateboards, and obviously Birdhouse riders too. But I said, we're gonna get all these skateboards out there for people who are playing the game, and he's like, well, they should pay us for that. And I go, I don't think we need to ask them for money, because I feel like this is a great way to advertise our brand, and that works.
Yeah.
Sure. And through all the years. And then we found out the hard way that you have to get very clear contracts from your artists.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that.